It's the Comedeorological Report for Thursday, August 22nd.
I'll say hi, Joey only. Say hi, Joey only.
Hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey only.
Hi, Joey.
Joey only.
Joey only.
I'm Frankie Dog. You listen to Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. And Joey only runs a podcast, Comedian plus Meteorology. And Joey only is a big fan of Vancouver Giants and Prince George Cougars. Joey only used to work for Vancouver Giants Western Hockey League team. He's a big fan of Prince George Cougars Western Hockey League team. It talks about the Brandon Helk, Imaging Cookie Bailey, Joe Stover, Hankin, all those guys, and Hilding Donaldson. And Joey only's a really nice guy. He's on the Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. It's on the YouTube channel Caribou Weather Tube. It's on CFUR 88.7 FM Prince George and CKUW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg and CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops. It's on Rogers TV in Vancouver Island. It's on the Rogers Cable Access TV in Vancouver Island. I'm friends with Joey Only and Brandon Helk and all those guys. Name is Cookie and Bailey. Best luck, yeah. I'm Frankie Don't listen to Joey Only show every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Atlantic. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joey only.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Hello, listeners of C4 88.7 FM Prince George. Hello, listeners of CKUW 95.9 in Winnipeg. Hello, listeners at 92.5 CFBX Kamloops and viewers on Rogers Television. This is the Comedeorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals Comedeorology. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada and beyond. And with us is my host, my panel. What did I say host for? I'm not even good at this anymore. With us is the panel of Comedeorologists. That's right. We got the best weather nerds, storm chasers, meteorologists, and sometimes supermodels that there is on television in Canada. That's right. Thank you, everybody. I'm Joey Only, your host up here in beautiful Wells, British Columbia, and we're joined, he'll be with us in 30 seconds time, by Frankie McDonald. He is the world's greatest weatherman out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia, the world famous weatherman, Frankie himself. From Brooks, Alberta, radio weatherman Brandon Hauk, and meteorologist Mark Ingalls is with us. That's who is here to start the show. We never know who else will show up with it. That's later's problem. Frankie McDonald.
Frankie!
How you doing so far, buddy?
I'm doing great so far. Not this weekend, but next weekend's Labor Day, both Canada and the United States on the same day, September 2nd.
Excellent. Excellent. That's a good point. We're almost at meteorological fall, aren't we?
Guess what? September, not next weekend, will be the last chance for most people to go camping.
Last chance
I'm going camping the weekend after that, actually.
Well, meteorologist Mark is going to defy the rules, but your kid is not in school yet, so that's partly why, right, Frankie?
Because the kids are not in school yet in Canada, and next weekend's Labor Day weekend, it's going to bring a lot of kids. There'll be a last chance for most people to go camping.
What do kids in America do? They're always in school there, it seems like. Like it's like July and they're in school.
They start their summer vacation the end of May. Their summer vacations in June and July. They go back in August.
Yep, I went back to school in mid-August usually.
Wow.
They start their summer vacation in mid-June.
So remember that, Canada, whenever you're watching a television show where like the American kids are getting out of school or going back to, it's not the same reference point for what you and I
experience. Things in different countries are different.
No, they aren't. Stop it. Frankie McDonald.
Then they get the hockey starting in Russia on September 3rd.
Hockey starting in Russia. What about hockey in Canada?
In October.
In October. Frankie, what's going on in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now?
Right now, it's not as humid in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Yesterday, it was really humid. And then because the cooler air is in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now, they got a really hot air in central United States right now. It's really hot in Arizona and those places, and the thunderstorms in Texas and New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado. It's really hot there right now with thunderstorms in the forecast. It's really hot in Nevada, including Idaho and Montana and all those places in interior British Columbia this weekend coming. It's really hot up in Alberta, in Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, Utah, California, and all those places, in Texas. Then it got cooler air in all the way down to Maryland. Then it got get really hot again in Minnesota late next week, getting ready for Labor Day weekend. Both Canada and the United States of America. It's going to be busy travel time all across Canada and the United States. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Labor Day travel, both U.S. and Canada. Lots of rain, thunderstorms going on in Central America right now. Like lots of rain, thunderstorms going on in Venezuela, Colombia, parts of Ecuador, parts of Bolivia, and up around the mountain regions of Peru. It's lots of rain that's going on right now in eastern Peru. It's really dry in northern Chile right now. And lots of snow up in the mountains in southern Chile, and lots of rain and wind in southern south coast of Chile right now. It's really dry in Amazon rainforest right now. Pretty soon, Brazil will begin the rainy season another few months away. Then it got really cold air in Argentina right now. They get a remnant of Ernesto strike in England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, all in there right now.
I was going to ask you, Frankie, about Tropical Storm Ernesto.
It's hitting for Norway on Friday. Brush St. John still playing. It's going to hit Norway tomorrow. Do not travel to Iceland.
Excellent. What about Iceland?
It's just going to cause another storm system in Iceland, bringing snow in the mountains, reaching Iceland, rain in the coast areas of Iceland as well. Then it got a lot of rain and going on and wind going on in Norway, Finland, Sweden right now. Then it got Stevan, a friend of base guy, lives in Slovakia. They're bringing really hot weather where Stevan of Slovakia lives. That space guy's other best friend.
What about the countries around Slovakia, Frankie?
Czech Republic. They're getting really hot weather too right now. It's really hot in France right now. It's going to be really hot in France, Spain, Portugal. Then it's going to bring lots of thunderstorms in northern Italy, next week as well, including Rome and Vatican City where Pope lives, including lots of really hot weather in Greece and Albania with chance of thunderstorms forecast, including Germany, Denmark, and Netherlands. They got showers and heading towards Germany, Denmark, Netherlands on Sunday coming up. It's really hot in Moscow, Russia right now, and St. Petersburg, Russia as well.
What about Kamchatka, Frankie?
Kamchatka's on the other side. And it's getting really hot weather there right now. Leaves are changing colors up in Nunavut right now. Olivier said so. Leaves are changing colors up in Nunavut.
Still fires burning up in Northwest Territories, Frankie.
There's another storm heading towards southern Japan. This Monday and Tuesday coming up, it's a typhoon. Oh my God, in Japan. Earthquakes are unpredictable in Japan. We can't escape for earthquakes for forever, and people in Japan can't escape for earthquakes forever.
Yeah, tropical depression dumped a lot of heavy rain in South Korea, I saw.
There was a lot of rain there right now. Then it got lots of hot weather in Japan and rain thunderstorms in the forecast in Japan, including Sapporo, Japan. Is really hot in Sapporo. Haggadah, Japan. Lots of rain thunderstorms going on in China right now, including Wuhan, China, Hong Kong, and all those places. It's really hot in Mongolia right now still. And leaves are changing colors in Siberia right now, Yakutsk. It's a lot of rain thunderstorms going on in Thailand and Vietnam, Laos, including Cambodia, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia right now. And Thailand, lots of rain thunderstorms going on there right now in those countries around the world. And I got something else to say. Sri Lanka and India, they're still in the monsoon season. Next month will be the final month of monsoon season in India. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Delhi and Mumbai and all those places right now. Lots of rain in Ethiopia right now with thunderstorms and forecast. In Sudan, they got thunderstorms and rain and forecast and really hot and humid temperatures there right now. Be prepared! And in places like in Nigeria and Ghana, those places, a lot of thunderstorms and rain. Hitting Nigeria, northern Nigeria, and northern Ghana, and all those places. A lot of rain and thunderstorms there right now. Causing all tropical wave coming off the west coast of Africa. Lots of rain thunderstorms going on in Central African Republic, Kenya, northern Congo, northern DR Congo, Gabon, and all those places. And the dry season's going on in Angola, Namibia, Botswana, South Africa. They're in the winter there right now. They're finishing up the winter in Mozambique and Madagascar, La Réunion, and Mauritius Islands. They're finishing up their winter and dry season there right now. In Australia, a lot of rain and showers and cold temperatures heading towards Perth, Australia. It's really hot in northern Australia. Then you got some thunderstorms and rain in the forecast in southeastern Australia, including Sydney, Australia. In those places, there will be large hail season. Will be starting up in Australia in southern hemisphere spring. Then we bring a lot of large hail there in southern hemisphere spring, September, October, November. That's their severe weather season there. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on, and lots of rain on North Island, New Zealand. Cold temperatures in Invercargill, Queenstown. Then you got heavy rain heading towards Northern South Island, New Zealand. This Saturday and Sunday coming. Then you got some lots of cold temperatures later next week, including all the way up to southern hemisphere spring in New Zealand. Then in Antarctica starting to get some daylight too, and up in the Arctic starting to get some darkness up there too as well.
Great forecasting, Frankie. Thank you very much once again. How was your week this week? What were you doing this week?
I'm doing great. I was singing karaoke last night. Plus, it's starting to get some darkness up in the Arctic already. And leaves are already changing colors up in Inuvik already. Fall of the year already started up there already.
Frankie, I noticed that there's a bunch of wildfires that have been happening in Turkey. You know anything about that?
Really bad there right now.
Yeah, some big fires. And I saw they've had lots of fires in Greece again this year. So new low temperature records up in the Yukon were set on August 21st, minus 3.5 up in Beaver Creek, minus 4.5 in Burwash Landing, minus 2.6 in Carmax, number minus 4, minus 4.5 in Kluane Lake area. So fall is starting to set in up in the north. There's still a lot of fires burning on in the north, so it's pretty wild, Frankie. Pretty wild up in Northwest Territories. Fires just burning.
Yeah, and Trey Campbell's doing stand-up comedy on every Thursday nights.
Trey Campbell's doing stand-up comedy every Thursday night. I miss Trey Campbell. He was awesome when he used to be on the show all the time because he's a very funny man, that Trey Campbell.
He's busy doing stand-up comedy.
You know, if you see him, say hi. Say hi to Gary and Dino for me. Say hi to Bass Guy for me.
Yes, and did you hear about this? Bass Guy's best friend, besides me, is Slovakia. From his name is Stevan. He lives in Slovakia. He's getting really hot weather, and Stevan lives in Slovakia.
Heat wave in Slovakia, everybody. So, Frankie.
Hey, everybody. I did not cause a 7.0 magnitude earthquake off the east coast of Russia and off of Franktown.
This week there was a big earthquake off the coast of Russia, which
really
you did
bad.
not cause.
I did not cause that earthquake at all.
You did not cause the earthquake at all, everybody. And then the earthquake triggered the Shuvalich volcano to go off, Frankie.
I did not trigger a volcano eruption in eastern Russia at all, from Frankie McDonald. Yes.
Which you did not cause at all.
I did not cause a volcano in eastern Russia at all.
Frankie did not cause a volcano in eastern Russia at all. You know what else, Frankie, was going on today? Was Brandon Houck unsuccessfully stole Wi-Fi from A&W. He was not able to steal Wi-Fi. It made trouble for him in his production that he was trying to do. He was trying to go live on the air from A&W and couldn't. Do you have any tips for Brandon on how to steal Wi-Fi better at A&W?
That means they got free Wi-Fi at the A&W. It says A&W free Wi-Fi.
It's not very good Wi-Fi at the Brooks, Alberta A&W, Frankie. So if you're in Brooks, Alberta, maybe try the library or somewhere else.
Previously on the Comedeorological Report.
Who is the BYB podcast?
That's another podcast. One of the guys created it.
He says you're stealing Wi-Fi from the A&W, and Peabody isn't happy about it.
Not true.
Dad.
Not true.
Dad, are you stealing Wi-Fi from the A&W, Frankie? It sounds like maybe a little bit, eh? Maybe a little bit of Wi-Fi?
They get free Wi-Fi in the A&W.
It's not stealing, is it, Frankie?
I mean, it's not actually, right? He has a point. It's not stealing.
It's not stealing when it's free Wi-Fi. It's not like you're. It's not like you're downloading burgers.
And Frankie's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Frankie, are you stealing Wi-Fi?
I wasn't. I'm not stealing Wi-Fi at all. Somebody's making stuff up.
Yeah, you can't steal Wi-Fi because it's still there. I mean, it didn't go anywhere, so you can't like take Wi-Fi.
I didn't steal Wi-Fi. Somebody's making stuff up.
Yeah. Frankie didn't steal the Wi-Fi at all.
Frankie didn't steal the Wi-Fi and he didn't start the fires. But he did explain that if he were to start the fires, he would do it by throwing lightning bolts. Hey.
So Brandon, how
The Brandon Hauk Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Hauk Report.
were you stealing Wi-Fi from A&W this week, Brandon Hauk?
I was trying to, but I didn't succeed in it. I failed miserably. So that's how it goes there. But I still got my my broadcast on today, so that was good.
You got your broadcast on.
Made it like nothing happened, pretty much. Yeah, nobody on the radio side knew what happened. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you were faking it, eh?
Oh
You're
yeah,
like,
faking it.
You're in the studio. You're instead of at A&W because their Wi-Fi is no good, and you're pretending that you're at A&W and you're pretending that you're eating burgers on the air, but actually you're. And so did people in Brooks go to A&W expecting to find you?
Oh yeah, and they found me. Oh yeah.
These at 66 kilometers an hour. Tonight, a few clouds, low down to 12. Then as we go on into tomorrow, we will be dealing with a potential for a mainly sunny skies. Could get a few scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms popping up late in the afternoon. And on into the evening hours are high tomorrow. Stealing Wi-Fi.
So you were doing magic tricks, and then someone did a magic trick on you, didn't they?
Oh yes, they did. Now, do you want me to tell you what he did right now, or later?
Might as well. We'll get into weather in a
Okay.
second. Hank Leistra's just showing up, so we got Saskatchewan covered. So that's one off your list that you don't have to go as in detail on, because I'm sure Hank will. But anyways, yeah, let's
Okay.
hear it. You had a magic trick done on you.
So this is a funny story. It's a funny story. So I didn't know this was going to happen I had no idea. So I was on the other side of the A&W after the broadcast, and I was chowing down another teen burger, because you got to have your teen burgers today because burgers for MS Day today. So very good cause. And so chowing down teen burger, and then I get this woman way over there. She waves me over. She sees me sitting by myself. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go chat with them, And then her son shows up, and his name's John Bing, by the way. And we sit there. We have a nice little visit, I had no idea this was going to happen or anything like that. So then he pulls out his, first trick. He did a couple of magic tricks before the big one here, but pulls out his phone. And he's like, think of a number. Okay, do that. And then rolls the dice, and that's your number and stuff. Oh, yes. But then he takes this little piece of paper out right here. Okay. So he, I'll probably post. So yeah, he drew the sun, the cloud, the car, and the road there on this little piece of paper. Okay. So then he drags out a box of crayons out of his pocket. Now, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So then he's like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look over here. I'm going to pretend I'm not looking at you, and you're going to pull out a crayon out of this box. All right. So I pulled out first off the yellow crayon. Okay. He said, all right, don't tell me what color it is. Just color the car. So I was like, oh, so I pulled out the yellow crayon and I colored the car yellow. Yeah. All right. So then now he told me to put the crayon to the side. Okay. So I put the crayon down to the side. All right. Now he wants me to take out another crayon. All right. So I pulled out the orange crayon. And this time he wants me to color the cloud, which is way up there. So I colored the cloud. And then I said, okay, now put the crayon down. All right. I put the crayon down. All right. Take out the next crayon. So I pulled out the green one. All right. Color the wheels. All right. So I colored the wheels green. And then he told me to take the blue one out. All right. I took the blue one out. And then I had to color the road blue. So then so I had the crayons off to the side there. And then he turns around and he's like, All right, that's really good job of coloring, sir. Oh, well, thanks. So then he says, all right, I'm going to flip the box of crayons over. All right. And little do you know, on the other side of the box of crayons, there's this piece of paper that was taped to the bottom of the box of crayons. Okay. So I have my paper that's all colored right here. So he yanks this piece of paper off the bottom of the box of crayons. And little did it know that he drew the same picture earlier in the day and used the same crayons and colored all of these things the same as I did.
Interesting. See, magic tricks like that don't work on me because they're like, okay, pick up the crayon, and I'm like, color the cloud. I'm like, don't tell me what to do.
We had some pretty good weather, some hot weather. I was everybody out east, especially around the Great Lakes, were complaining it's cold, it's freezing. They're turning their furnaces on over there. And here I am on Twitter being a funny guy saying, hey, looking over here, it's 90 degrees over here. Or 32 degrees, 34 degrees. So yeah, that felt good doing that. I'm probably going to get payback for doing that probably later, Anyways, we had a pretty good thunderstorm roll through here yesterday. Actually, I was in around town setting up for my remote today, sort of setting up, kind of getting things ready. And I come back here, do a live video, and next thing you know, storm blows in. Nice little wall cloud off to the southwest. Nothing too fancy there. And a quick downpour, at least 4 millimeters of rain with a quick downpour there. It was pretty awesome. Thunder all around. Nice little storm. Weakened quickly as it moved off to the north there. And then today was around 25 degrees, so a very nice day. Lots of sunshine, beautiful temperatures. But now looking into tomorrow, we're going to see a little bit of a surge of heat moving back in here. So we'll see our temperatures probably get to like 34 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. And then a cold front, I'd say pretty close to a cold front's going to sweep through here. Act as a trigger here, and we could be in for a pretty good round of severe thunderstorms in southern Alberta. Say in the evening and progressing its way to the overnight period there. Storms will fire off across the southwestern corner of the province, sweeping their way towards our area, and then moving northward this time with the intensifying area of low pressure moving into the province of Alberta in the next few days. So these storms tomorrow, especially which will be the 23rd of August, especially from areas Lethbridge through Tabor into the Cypress Hills, north through Medicine Hat, Brooks, just off the Drumheller area towards Hanna, and Oyen area could be capable of producing damaging winds gusting anywhere from 90 to 120 kilometers an hour, along with large hail, possibly size of, I'd say, nickels to ping pong balls, maybe golf ball sized hail. Late day Friday evening. So we could be in for a pretty good feisty round of severe thunderstorms across southern Alberta. And that will be the intensifying area of low pressure as it moves its way through. And then those storms will track towards the Edmonton region overnight Friday into early Saturday morning. And then as we go into Saturday, we'll get some precipitation thunderstorms off to the north with some rain. Watch for severe weather, especially to the eastern prairies, especially Saturday into Sunday. And the heat will crank up on the eastern prairies. Meanwhile, here, we're going to cool off Saturday after we heat up Friday. And then we'll get quite windy on the backside of the low. Winds could easily gust 60 to 50, 60, 70 kilometers an hour on Saturday across southern Alberta. And the strongest winds likely, especially in the Pincher Creek area, possibly gusting 80 kilometers an hour on Saturday. So Saturday, expect very windy conditions. And then as we progress our way through Sunday, we'll get even cooler temperatures in the mountains. We're going to see teen temperatures for daytime highs, and into southern Alberta, low 20s. So it's going to feel, it's definitely going to feel, you'll feel that chill in the air if you're used to the 30-degree heat we've been enjoying for the last month or so there. and we'll probably get a
That
couple.
will be so hard on you guys.
I know we're gonna be like freezing here at 23 degrees Celsius. I'll be fine. Anyways, so yeah, we'll get some showers moving through, and then we heat up again Monday. So back up to mid to upper 20s, and then we cool right back down again towards the middle of the week. So a bit of a seesaw kind of pattern. That's kind of a typical pattern that you get in Alberta as we get closer and closer to. I know I said it on our Winnipeg station this morning that summer's just hanging on for dear life as we get into the month of September, and that's usually typically how it ends. Seesaw kind of pattern. It gets hot.
It is. It
cool.
is. But looking further out, we do have some
yeah.
ridging coming. That's going to maybe warm things up for second summer in September, which isn't like
Oh, yeah.
regular summer, but it's we had kind of a crappy pattern in BC this last little while. And we will for a little while to come. Temperatures down, a little bit wetter, a little bit, So Manitoba Mike has showed up. Hank Vliestra out in Willoughby, Saskatchewan showed up, and Hank's walking around since I don't want to miss a sunset or something if Hank's got it. But Mark's also been very patient because he wants to go to bed. But also we love Mark's commentary, so that if we do go to Mark first, then we lose him for the night. So I don't know what to do, Brandon.
I'll tell you a good joke right now, and a really good joke. What do you do if your balloon elephant won't fit in the back seat?
You pop it.
You pop the trunk.
Okay, well, the camera was on Mark, so meteorologist Mark, down there in the Lower Mainland. We had quite a storm event there last weekend.
Yeah, that I wasn't here for, but it did storm on us in Salt Lake. So I don't know an exact figure for British Columbia, but Washington and Oregon combined saw over 3,000 lightning strikes. The majority of those were west of the Cascades, and this was a perfect setup for a Pacific Northwest thunderstorm outbreak. We got a low pressure system off the Oregon coast. It's bringing in warm, moist air off the subtropical Pacific. It gets amplified by the mountains that cause the lift, and it's really good. And we actually had some thunderstorms down here in the Lower Mainland earlier this morning, right as I was waking up for work. We had thunder around Surrey around 2:30 in the morning, and it was around Vancouver closer to 4 or so. And then pushed off onto the Sunshine Coast and kind of east side of Vancouver Island. Friday night into Saturday, we are looking at like 15 millimeters of rain. That may be another thunderstorm outbreak, or it may just be rain. Jury's kind of out on that one. That will also be an overnight event. Even if it's not a thunderstorm outbreak, I think we will see some lightning somewhere around southwestern BC. Talking about the heat in the central part of the continent, Abilene, Texas, where I used to live, broke their all-time record high. It was 45 degrees there yesterday. Breaks the old record of 44. Abilene was pretty hot in August, but one time it was 32 degrees there on Christmas Day. So, it's pretty hot. So they broke that. Records there go back to 1885, and I'm glad that I don't live there. For context, the big heat wave we had here in 2021, I don't know what Vancouver did, but Portland did 48, and where I lived also did 48 degrees. So still not as hot as we've gotten here in the Northwest, but 45 degrees is not fun. That heat wave is going to shift eastward. It's going to focus more on Chicago as the upper level pattern that's been in place that's kept the Northwest cool, kept Texas really hot, and then kept the Northeast really cool, and in Eastern Canada really cool. That pattern is going to break down. The heat wave is going to move towards the Great Lakes. It's going to be focused on Chicago, but I think we'll see some of that heat in Manitoba and Ontario. And that ridge is going to kind of flatten out. What that means is instead of the heat being focused on one region, it's going to be spread out more across the continent. And so we are going to warm up here in British Columbia. Brandon talked about Alberta warming up a little bit. But false fall is coming to an end here. Saturday, of course, we're going to get quite a bit of rain in the Lower Mainland. I think we'll have another round sometime around Tuesday, and then after that, it's just dry and warm. And the weather models are favoring drier than average conditions for British Columbia through most of September. So fire season
Yes!
is not over. Yeah.
Well, I made a forecast video today saying that.
Nice.
The premise of the whole video was that.
Yeah,
Second
we'll
story
see.
of it.
We'll see if it pans out, but that is kind of what we're looking at. And so fire season's not over. So we'll see. We'll see the heat. Not heat. Obviously, it's not going to be hot, but it will be above average. And we're reaching into the time of year where backdoor cold front season comes into play. This is when we have cold lows drop down the east side of the Rockies into Alberta, and then that cold, dry area sometimes comes over the Rockies, brings easterlies into British Columbia, and that creates dry air, and it heats up as it descends the mountains, and that creates very dangerous fire conditions because, of course, this is the driest time of the year. Right. The reverse Chinooks. And all the crap is dry. I mean, it's rained a bit, but this is the end of the dry season. So we're not done with fire season. I don't know. I can't sit here and say that we're going to have a big fire, but like we said earlier in the season, if your house gets burned down, it doesn't matter if it's a good one or a bad one. It's a bad one for you. So it's something to watch out for. And then I wanted to ask Frankie, actually. Frankie, did you cause the volcano eruption that started tonight in Iceland?
I did not cause a volcano eruption at all.
Okay, well, the volcano is erupting in Iceland, and I saw the live stream there on the YouTube, and the fountaining is magnificent. There are sheets of lava coming up dozens of meters into the sky. This is the same volcanic region that's been erupting for the last, 10 months or so. And it wasn't entirely unexpected. And I think we'll continue to see more volcanic eruptions from there. These phases typically start as very active with the very big sheets coming out, huge fountains, and then they kind of mellow out after a little while, and then it's just lava flows. And
Did
then
you see what happened there, though? Did you see what happened there? Is that we caught Frankie. We caught Frankie because he said he didn't cause the volcano in Russia.
Oh, the truth's out, Frankie.
But he caused the one in Iceland.
I did not cause a volcano in Iceland at all.
And then I do have one piece of news. This is actually from a couple of weeks ago. In south central Washington, a small town called Patterson, a hawk picked up a fish out of the Columbia River and then dropped it on a substation, an electrical substation, cut out power to a large area, not very many people, but a large area, and started the substation arcing started a brush fire because a hawk dropped a fish onto it.
There you go, humans. This is how frail your civilization is.
That reminds me of the time when I was in high school and found out our power was cut by a raccoon who got into the substation and basically fried himself on the hydro wires.
Yeah, your civilization is hanging in the talons of a hawk, like a fish.
It was a targeted attack. He picked up that thing. It's like the planes with the scooping it out and then dropping it on the fire. Well, this bird picked up the fish and dropped it right where it would arc the substation.
That's funny.
When forecasting for wildfires, one thing I often talk about, could we see fire starts? One thing I cannot take into account is hawks dropping fish on substations. That's very hard to predict in the weather world. There is no modeling for hawks dropping fish.
One could say that it is more likely closer to the river than it is further from the river.
One thing I would add is that my impression is that fire starts will continue to go down. We've got like 80 less fires going on in BC. We're somewhere in the 340s or something right now. Last time I looked today, we got 80 less fires going on in BC than we had 2 weeks ago. We have only one fire of note happening in the province. That's down from 6 to 3 weeks ago. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of fire starts necessarily as we come into the fall. But what we do have the potential for is for fires that have been burning all summer that have quieted down for a while to wake back up and have some increased burning.
That's a really good point. And on that point, these fires would burn the opposite direction. And so there's a lot of fuel on the back side of that fire because these, typically would get winds going out of the west or out of the southwest.
That was actually exactly what I experienced at Donnie Creek Fire last September. in which the biggest day in Canadian history of burning, as far as I understand it, was September 23rd last year, and that was across parts of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Northwest Territories, northern eastern British Columbia.
That was September 23rd.
Yeah,
that's pretty late in the season, and it's Michael's birthday. That's pretty late in the season. So, fire season's not done yet. Just, don't freak out. Like Joey said, we're probably not going to have a whole lot of new fire starts, but if you are in a fire hazard zone, which is most of Canada, just keep it in the back of your mind. Don't be dumb. Have a plan. Half of saving your life is having a plan.
Michael's birthday tree candling. That's still a month away, right? So we still got quite a bit of time in which fire season can happen. Although, like I say, I think we're probably past big panic moments on large scale fires and things like that. But, we're probably going to see some fire activity still in the fall. We're not out of this completely yet. Thanks for the great report, Mark. We always love having you on the show. And you can go to bed now if you want, I suppose. I hate losing you, but...
Yes, thank you. Good night, everyone.
There you got Hank Leaster right now is standing near the mountains in Saskatchewan. What's that in the background, Hank? You got some beautiful mountain scenery.
We got a new pool going in to Wilkie. They're building a new pool out here. A public pool. It's going to be outdoor swimming. What?
I was going to say, you had storm chases on Sunday. I didn't see how successful those chases were for you.
Not good. It was better last night. We just had bad luck on the weekend. I like to blame Environment Canada, but it was partly my call. It's just I trusted them too much. They put in a severe thunderstorm watch, and it did not cover the area that I originally wanted to go to, and so I changed my mind on where we were going, which storm we were going to start on. And
I feel my anger getting hotter.
I changed my mind. That was a bad idea to change my mind because where I wanted to go would have taken me out of the severe thunderstorm watch, but it ended up being way better up there. And they ended up putting a severe thunderstorm watch there later, and it would have been better up north where we wanted to go in the first place. So anyway, it didn't work out so great on the weekend, but last night was awesome for me because lightning photos. And the only reason these were better than normal conditions for lightning photos was not the strength of the storm. The storms were weak. They were slow moving. And when you're trying to take photos of lightning, that is perfect.
If the lightning is like, if the lightning does this instead. Like, oh, there's one.
Yeah, when the lightning moves that slow, Joey, that makes it so much easier to get good photos. And it's like, the storms were moving 25 kilometers per hour last night, and that is unusually slow. And it was easy to get in position and near the lightning, but still stay out of the rain. And that's the challenge with lightning photography, is to both be in a place you can see the lightning good, but it's not raining on you, because it's awful hard to take photos in the middle of pouring rain, right? So
well, not only is it unenjoyable to do so, but also your lightning's obscured by the cloud or the sheet of rain.
Didn't quite get enough sleep last night because I was getting so many good photos. It's hard to go home again, right? Anyway, I'm okay. I just need to make sure I get enough tonight, that's for sure. You guys were talking about magic. I wonder if anybody here has been hypnotized. I tried to go up on stage with a hypnotist one time. Anybody else? Anybody go up on stage with a hypnotist?
No. Yeah, and you know what happened is my mind is too strong.
Yeah, I know.
What about the?
I won't allow myself.
My therapist did this to me once in therapy session where I had to follow her finger the entire time. I thought she was doing the whole like hypnotism thing, but yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot more to hypnotize a person. I think magic shows are not really my thing, but Frankie's probably got a couple up his sleeve.
The science is iffy on this stuff, and you have to want to be hypnotized to find yourself in that state. Right.
That's what the hypnotists themselves say that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how you can tell someone's really selling you some snake oil.
Well, it's crazy though what people will actually do on stage when they're hypnotized. It blows the mind.
When they're pretending that they're hypnotized.
I don't know. they don't ask anything even close to what their normal behavior is. I went up on stage one time, but like you, Joey, I felt sort of into it at the beginning, and then after a little while, I'm kind of like start looking around, like, is anybody else feeling like I'm feeling? And then the guy's waving at me, "Get off the stage! Come on, you're not hypnotized," you know.
Like waving their finger at me, I'd be like, "Stop waving that finger at my face! I'm gonna kick you in the neck." Anyways, so there's this weekend, Hank. You got another chance for storm chasing, and I'm gonna, when you're done, you're gonna talk to Mike about this too, because this is relevant to Manitoba. You got another shot at her this weekend, bud.
Well, good. I haven't looked at this weekend yet. Thanks for telling me about that. That is always exciting to hear.
I was just looking at the data too. Both of us have a good chance at storms this weekend.
Saturday, Hank.
Saturday.
In Saskatchewan, get your sleep.
Or you can come over here tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Want.
And there's no better day than the weekend, because I have this thing they call a job, which interferes with storm chasing. Like, I swear, 5 out of 7 days of the week, it messes with your storm chasing ideas.
I've tried my very best to not have one of these oppressive things they call a career. And look at me now.
Uh-huh.
Well, Hank, rest up, because this will work for your weekend. This will work for your weekend, and we're gonna move over to Manitoba here for a minute. So, Mike, your tag team partner there, Justin Ordle, has had a child today, so he's not here.
That's noisy. They're pulling out ahead a little bit.
First real hail that my truck has experienced.
To talk a little bit about his chases this week, he got a couple good photos.
Yeah, he got some photos in western Manitoba. He managed to chase a storm. I was over by Birtle, Manitoba, and I think it was over by Yorkton too. He managed to get a couple of supercell thunderstorm pictures. I think he snapped a photo of a wall cloud was rotating a possible tornado touchdown too. I think he posted it on the Weather Center in Manitoba. You can check the photo of that out. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but he caught some good storms this weekend. I was kind of jealous because I was hoping to have some. But yeah, he had a successful chase, and he actually got pounded by a hail core. So yeah, hopefully his vehicle isn't damaged by that. Yeah, speaking of storm potential, it looks like this weekend is going to turn out to be a bit more on the active side. I had a look at the ECM WF weather model. I had a look at the GFS and the GDPS. All are coming in agreement with the thunderstorm convection moving into Inner Lakes. There's going to be a cold front slicing through that heat and humidity on Sunday evening. So there might be some instability and enough to generate some thunderstorms. I think there's a possibility that the Inner Lakes might get more of it. It's too early to say, narrow down specific areas, but it looks like me and Hank have a chance this weekend. It's been kind of hot and humid the last couple of days. Yesterday was absolutely wild. Felt like 35 degrees with the humidity, and the day before that was weird because it was dry, but it was like hot. So it felt like Brandon maybe snuck in the humidity, sent me the humidity yesterday because we missed some storms that we were supposed to get some. As far as like our temperature trend, I think it's been on an upswing lately. Like tomorrow we're looking at high temperature of about 29 degrees, and then on Saturday and Sunday it looks like 32 and 33 degrees. I think it's going to be an active end to the summer season in Manitoba. I can't really get into specifics, but It has been one of those summers where it's just been like more hotter than, and it's been awesome. But our farmers lately, what I've heard that a lot of the farmers are already harvesting, so that's good. Their crops are getting in. I think it was good at how we had the rain earlier in the year, and then we got all the drought. Not drought, we got all the heat and humidity, so that helped the crops grow. So yeah, in Manitoba, if you want to come and see a bunch of sunshine and no storms, we're in a storm drought right now in the Red River Valley area. So if you want to come and see, if you're one of those people who wants to go to a beach, it's probably want to check out our area for at least a couple of days. But yeah, it's average in Manitoba, and I'll keep it that way for now.
Average in Manitoba.
What kind of beaches you've got? What was it at Gimli there?
Winnipeg Beach.
Winnipeg Beach. Oh yeah.
Grand Beach, Albert Beach, Victoria Beach, Birds Hill Park.
Some great beaches in Manitoba, surprisingly.
Go to the beach and get eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Actually, surprisingly, there weren't many. I was at Birds Hill yesterday, and I only got bitten by one mosquito.
I've been down to Turtle Mountain Provincial Park once, I think, camping long time ago. Long time ago. And the mosquitoes were, oh my goodness. That was probably one of the worst times camping with mosquitoes. Because somebody left the door open and they all came into the camper. Spent the night doing this, slapping. Yeah.
I remember doing that as a kid, or open up the camper door, RV, a whole hundreds of thousands to come in, and they're trying to sleep, and you're like, how many mosquitoes are there in here? Is there like this is like horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I guess you guys don't get them in Alberta as much.
Well, there was one year where they were really bad here. I was, I don't know, about 15 years ago, and I couldn't even go outside. They were so bad. That was a long time ago, but usually, yeah, they haven't been too bad. Last year, I think there were no mosquitoes because we were drought conditions, but this year we have a little bit more in the way of mosquitoes, but not too bad. You put some bug spray on, you're good to go. Yeah.
You guys spray for them out there?
In some cities, yeah, they do. Yeah.
That and the prairie winds just blow them all the way to Manitoba.
Oh yeah.
Frankie McDonald, what's your dad, Frank McDonald, been doing lately?
He wrote his song, Footprints. That's his latest song. I sent to you. A link to my video about my dad's song. Hey everybody, my dad, Frank McDonald, made his latest song in SoundCloud, Mystic Mist. His latest song is Footprints. It was written by my dad, Frank McDonald, and he did a lot of effort making a song. Footprints, that's the title of his song. He played the guitar all by himself, and he mastered a song and recorded his own song. He wrote his own lyrics and things like this. He played the guitar all by himself. He played a song, Footprints. That's his latest song on his SoundCloud, Mystic Mist. My dad's latest song is Footprints by my dad, Frank McDonald. He's writing a lot of songs. He's making a lot of songs lately. You can check out his latest song, Footprints, on his SoundCloud.
Just enough to wet down the town of Wells. Oh, look at the rainbow now. It's getting bright right on top of my house. My house is getting attacked by rainbows. That's not crazy, nothing is. My house is being attacked by rainbows right now. Big old rainbow. I just happen to be up on top of the pile here. See a rainbow attacking my house. Hope my house is going to be okay. I don't have rainbow insurance or anything like that. You never know when an extreme rainbow event's going to happen. Oh, look it's only one rainbow though, so this doesn't classify as extreme rainbows.
That's funny.
Intercept, but it is hitting my house. It's supposed to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and I tell you, there is no fucking gold in my house. Not no more. No, definitely not. In fact, there's barely anything of value. But so you know that's now officially a lie, unless it's underneath my house in the mud. Maybe there's some gold under there somewhere. But if so, I don't own the rights to it. So there's no gold down there, okay? Don't dig up my house. Extreme rainbow. And I'm not even in it. I'm probably the most valuable thing in my house. Oh, maybe Josh has something more valuable. I don't think so, though. He's as cheap as I am. And that's, what we like about each other. I don't know what I'm going to say to him about the rainbow hitting our house while he was gone. Like, sorry, Josh, while you were gone, a rainbow hit the house. Well, that's all she wrote. How long am I going to sit here and photograph this rainbow hitting my house? A long time. I got to see what happens. You never know what's going to happen. Could be rainbow damage. Still just enough moisture in the air there at my house to make a rainbow attack possible. Now, rainbow's still hitting my house right now. Uh-oh, there's a second rainbow forming. This is really bad news. 2 rainbows. It's an extreme rainbow outburst from a nothing of a little rain squall. That's how dangerous these things are. Look at these beautiful cumulus clouds in the background, actually. Isn't this just a gorgeous afternoon in Wells, except for the rainbow hitting my house. Looks like it's finally moved on from my place. It's just sort of near it. No.
Who am I kidding?
It's trying to hit my house is what it's trying to do.
I have to do a little bit of editing there, obviously, to make that TV worthy. Speaking of editing, I forgot at the beginning of the show to say the time and date and all that, which is really important for radio listeners who might be listening to our
As
show.
for the Comedeorological Weather Report, August 22nd, 2024.
Yeah, so what I'll do is we'll do it right now, and then I'll edit it and I'll put it at the beginning later, right? So I'll be like, it's the Comedeorological Report for Thursday, August 22nd.
Well done. And then now you gotta go, I'm Joey Only.
Well, I said that already. We just put this at the beginning there, and then the I'm Joey. You already got the I'm Joey Only in there, right? And I mean, besides that, nobody cares who I am.
Well, I've been practicing that stuff all day today. Well, sort of.
He's been telling himself he's Joey Only.
All day
myself
long,
Joey
Brandon's
Only.
at A&W stealing Wi-Fi.
I would
I'm
totally go
Joey
on
Only.
here. I'm Joey Only. Live on location with Joey Only.
It would be awesome if I got some burgers out of it.
What do you say? Oh, isn't that like what is that seafood restaurant called again? What if he goes to that place, Joey's?
Hey, now
Joey
let's stop
Only.
the seafood jokes before I get angry, friends.
I remember that. We had one of those, and then it got it ran out of business. But yeah, now it's Subway. It's taking its place.
East at 66 kilometers an hour. Tonight, a few clouds, low down to 12. Then as we go on into tomorrow, we will be dealing with a potential for a mainly sunny skies. Could get a few scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms popping up late in the afternoon. And on into the evening hours are high tomorrow.
Stealing Wi-Fi.
2 Brandon Houks in the world.
That the stealing Wi-Fi was first mentioned on Compound Media Network, Anthony Cumia Network.
Why would he accuse you of stealing Wi-Fi? Like, what's what's business of it?
Nelson Peabody's the first one that said that.
What business of it is it of yours, Nelson? Whether Frankie's engaging in
Nelson Peabody made that up.
Whether Frankie's engaging in the practice of Wi-Fi accumulation through whatever devious means.
Yeah, he's probably wanted by Wi-Fi police in Iceland volcano police.
Which is why Frankie says, do not travel to Iceland.
Do not travel to Iceland.
Because he started a volcano there. Where are you going to hit next with your environmental powers, Frankie? Who gets it next?
Big lightning storm Winnipeg, probably.
Frankie's going to cause a big lightning storm in Winnipeg this week. Can't wait. And
Question, Brandon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to agree with me on this, but it looks like severe storms are possible this weekend in southern Manitoba. Would you agree?
Yes, I'd say Saturday and possibly Sunday too, especially when you're cranking up that heat and humidity. I think it's going to feel like 40 Sunday in Winnipeg. So
That's what I saw. I saw like 43 with the humidity or something on Sunday.
yeah.
Do you want to come to Manitoba? If you want to come to have an actual outdoor sauna, come to Manitoba in my own backyard.
That's Sunday, August 25th.
Sunday.
Just in case, because the show airs.
Don't go streaking though.
Because the show airs on Mondays in Winnipeg, right on CK.
Oh yeah, the humidity will be gone by the time the show airs. It'll be like,
So,
what?
yeah, you don't want the people to be hearing that the next day and being like, "Wow, that sounds like just what happened. It's gonna happen again."
Don't go streaking in that humidity. You're gonna regret it.
By the way, my favorite thing with humidity is when you're in Calgary, when it's like, oh, your wrists are like cracked and stuff, is 20 below and cold and stuff, and then you fly to Florida and you walk off that plane and that first shot of humidity hits you. It's just like, wow, it's so amazing. It's like, and all of a sudden your hands are not cracked anymore. It's like, there we go. That's
But then you have the unfortunate problem of being
You don't have to worry about your hair freezing after you come out of the shower. That happened to me a lot growing up.
I have to worry about my hair going all fuzzy because I have very curly hair and it doesn't like humidity.
Well, for those who are not aware, Wells is 3,935 feet above sea level. It's cold up here in the mountains, and we are the most northern town with the highest elevation. The only other towns that are higher in elevation than us are all in southern reaches of Canada. So we get the cold, and we've been getting hard dew points. Very, very wet in the morning, very, very chilly, very foggy first thing in the morning, and then it's cold. I got the wood stove going right now, and it's only Thursday, August 22nd.
Thursday.
You like how I set that up? Frankie, how can people find you on the internet?
If you want to follow me on social media, my blue guy is at Frankie MacD. My ex, formerly known as Twitter, is at Frankie MacD. My link tree is Frankie MacDonald. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD1984. My TikTok is FrankDon1984. My Clapper is FrankDon1984. My Twitch is FrankDon1984. My Snapchat is Frankie MECD Wayne. My YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. And my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening to Comedeorology Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Not this weekend, but next weekend is Labor Day weekend. Both Canada and the United States on the same day, September 2nd.
Well, that concludes this episode of the Comedeorological Report for Thursday, August 22nd.
If you want to catch me and Justin, head on over to the Weather Center, Manitoba, for weather updates.
And if you want to catch Brad and Houk, go to A&W in Brooks, Alberta.
Yeah.
You'll be stealing Wi-Fi there. You've been listening to us on CFR 88.7 FM in Prince George, CKUW 95.9 Winnipeg, CFBX 92.5 in Kamloops, and of course Rogers television outlets down there in Vancouver Island. Thank you very much for having us once again. That is pretty much the end of the Comedeorological Report for yet another week. This is episode 157. 157 times, Frankie, we've done this together. And Brandon Houk's been here for at least 140 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. We're still going strong. You know, despite all those years of nobody watching, we're still going strong.
We should have a big party when we reach episode 200.
A pizza party on air.
That's the show.
That's the show. I'll probably just...
That's the show.
Okay, yeah, I guess Frankie's right. I forgot to mention, by the way, tonight we had Hank Leistra on. We had, who's from Wilkie, Saskatchewan.
Where's Hilding?
We didn't have Hilding. Hilding's been busy with festivals and farming. We didn't have Image and Cookie Bailey, producer, miss her. We did have meteorologist Mark. We did have Brandon Houk. We did have Mike McGregor.
Now,
we did have Brandon. We did have Frankie.
Highways are going to be really, 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 really busy next weekend because of Labor Day weekend, both Canada and the United States. How many airplanes will be up in the sky, both Canada and the United States?
And we did not have Justin Ordo on the show this week because Labor Day for his wife was today. So congratulations to you, Justin Ortel. Enjoy parenthood once again.
That's
all right,
the show.
That's the show. That's the show. Okay, we're done. Bye.
These at 66 kilometers an hour. Tonight, a few clouds, low down to 12. Then as we go on into tomorrow, we will be dealing with a potential for a mainly sunny skies. Could get a few scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms popping up late in the afternoon. And on into the evening hours, our high tomorrow.
Stealing Wi-Fi. That's noisy. They're pulling out ahead a little bit.
First real hail that my truck has experienced.
Not true.
Are you stealing Wi-Fi from the A&W, Frankie? sounds like maybe a little bit, eh? Maybe a little bit of Wi-Fi.
They get free Wi-Fi in the AW.